Welcome back to the Tigers Den podcast, guys. Before we get started, you know what we got to do. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new, and don't forget to hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at Big C Got Game. Well, our Tigers moved to 6-0 after a dominating performance over the Ohio State Buckeyes. 52-6 was your final. This game was a blowout from the start. I actually thought this game was going to be a lot closer. But as you can see, at the end of the first quarter, it was 7-3, and then Grambling just exploded in the second quarter with 17 points, 21 in the third, and they scored another touchdown in the fourth. What a day for Cody Walker, 17 of 20, 244 yards and 3 touchdowns. I was concerned about this Ohio State defense, but Cody was just picking them apart left and right, and he had a solid game. On the ground, Pierre Jackson led the way with 17 carries for 123 yards and 2 scores. And in cleanup, Kevin Easley, 10 carries for 106 yards, and he had 2 touchdowns. He averaged 10.6 yards a carry. This is what I like to see out of our running game. Both backs go over 100 yards, and then Cody Walker chipped in with 9 carries for 70 yards. Out wide, Antonio Walker led the way with 6 grabs for 77 yards. Then you got Tim Clark with 2 catches for 31. Will Carter had 2 catches for 32 and a touchdown. Then Bobby Smith, the deep threat, 2 catches for 53 and a score. Eldon O'Connor even got into the act. He caught a ball for 33 yards. It's a great all-around showing by our offense, and Cody Walker hit a lot of targets this game. On defense, Brian Chase has been impressive in his freshman campaign. He had 6 tackles on the day, 3 for a loss and an interception. Eric Rogers got benched, moved down to 5th corner. He still had 5 tackles in the game. Ken Johnson, 4 tackles and an interception. But this game was all about the defensive line. Nick Sellers was all over the field. He finished with 3 tackles and 2 sacks. Caleb Causey had 3 tackles and a sack. And shout out to Mike Anderson, man, the big D tackle. 2 tackles, 2 sacks. Marcus Jones and Marcus Freeman both had a sack apiece. The secondary had some interceptions, man. Aaron Wilkinson had a one-handed interception that was just so clean. Then Ken Johnson had a pick, and Brian Chase had a pick. Just an all-around dominating showing by the G-men. Taking a look at the stats, and numbers don't lie. Grambling State had 28 first downs, 550 total yards of offense. They outrushed Ohio State 296-49. But Ohio State did throw 3 more yards than Grambling State did. On third down, Grambling finished 6 of 7, while Ohio State finished 10 of 16. We stopped them on 4th down, and they only kicked 1 field goal inside the red zone. The most impressive stat of the day, though, our G-Men's defense forced 4 turnovers, including a fumble loss and 3 interceptions. In all, that equals a W, and Grambling State is your new #1 team in the country. Talking about rankings, Grambling State is #1 in the country right now, followed by Penn State. They're up 3 spots to 2. BYU is up 3 spots to 3. Army jumps up 3 spots to 4. Oklahoma falls a spot to 5. Oklahoma State is up 2 spots to 6. Ohio State falls 6 spots to 7. Texas is up a spot to 8. Pittsburgh, look at that, man. They're up 6 spots to 9. And Wisconsin, with 2 losses, rounds out your top 10. No big shift on the recruiting board, but we do have a lot of prospects that will be on campus this week, including 5-star wide receiver Kareem Bowser, Justin Wheatley, Thad White, Will Jude, Michael Jansen, and Cedric Turner. Now, as I said before, Kareem Bowser will be on campus. He is the #1 wide receiver in this class, and right now we are trailing behind Arkansas, and this kid is fast, 92 speed, 91 acceleration. His hands need some work, but he's got great route running. He reminds me a lot of Jordan Paxson. Then there's big offensive tackle Justin Wheatley. He's 6'6", 288 from Michigan. We're trailing behind a few teams, Mississippi State, Wisconsin, and Eastern Michigan. And with his trades, man, he would be great depth at the tackle position, considering that we're losing a tackle this offseason. I will probably redshirt him this year just to work on that pass block. His run block is nice, and that impact block is nice too. But he needs to really work on those pass blocking skills. Another offensive lineman that is visiting this week is big guard Thad White from Mercedes, Texas. 6'3", 277. We're behind Kentucky right now. And he's more of a mauler, man. He can run block. I would love to see his impact block go up a little bit more, but he is strong and he's got some agility. He'd be a great fit on our O-line. Back to the defensive side of the ball we go. Middle linebacker Michael Jansen will be on campus. He's 6', 218 from Ohio. Right now we're trailing behind Cincinnati for him, and he's got great speed, 84 speed. His agility needs some work, but his acceleration is nice. He's got some tackling skills. He can get off of blocks, but I'm more impressed with that zone coverage. I do like to have my linebackers kind of like my user. So with his zone coverage ability, he could be able to cover running backs and tight ends out of the backfield. We're looking for more depth on that defensive line, and Will Jude would be a great fit, 6'2", 229 from Florida, the number 21 DN in the country. We're behind BYU right now. It's a short lead for them, and this guy is a power rusher, man. He's got 77 speed, 84 acceleration, 74 strength, and that power move, 79. He can get off of blocks with an 80. He can tackle. He's got great hit power and play rec. He'd add great depth to that D-line. Another player that'll be visiting this week is the number 3 defensive tackle in this class, Charles Hodges. He's 6'3", 274 from Shelley, Idaho. Right now the Buckeyes are in the lead, but we are not too far behind. And this kid is going to be something special, man. 69 speed, 82 strength. He's got great finesse moves. He can get off of blocks. He can tackle, hit power, and pursuit. He could come in and start as a freshman. But the player we have our eye on right now is 5-star free safety Cedric Turner from Oklahoma. He's 6'1", 218, and Grambling State is his number 1 team as of right now. And this kid's stats are ridiculous. Look at the speed, 96 speed. He's got 92 acceleration. He is not afraid to come down and tackle. He's got great hit power, great pursuit. The zone coverage and the man coverage, not that great. But listen, man, he could be that missing piece on our defense that would allow us to go back to that 3-4 defense like we had with Josh Carey. Man, I'm excited to have him on campus this week. We really need to put on a show against Stanford. So that's going to do it for recruiting this week, man. Make sure you guys stay up to date with everything GSU by following your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at Big C Got Game. Once we get a signing, I will post it there first, and then you will see it in the Tigers Den podcast later that week. So we are in week 8 of season 8, and we're taking on the number 14th ranked Stanford Cardinals. They come in 5-1 on the season after beating an FCS team, Colorado, Washington, losing to UCLA, beating Washington State, beating Oregon State, and now they got to take on our Tigers. Stanford is led by junior quarterback Matt Bryan. He is 6'4", 226, a pocket passer. He's thrown for 1,379 yards, 13 touchdowns with 5 interceptions. And he does not have any running skills whatsoever. 57 speed, but he does have an arm. 87 throw power, 86 accuracy. So we got to make sure we bring the pressure this week with our front four. Look for CC and Nick Sellers to have big days. On the ground, Stanford is led by Anthony Nichols, the senior running back from Louisiana, 6'1", 224. He's got 487 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. His backup is Devin Burke, another senior. He's the power back out of the two, 365 yards and 5 scores. So look for Grambling State to wrap up this week. No trying to cause fumbles, no big hits. Just wrap up, bring these guys to the ground. Out wide, Richard Whitaker leads the team in catches and yards with 27 grabs for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. Big tight end Kyle Battle, 6'5", 259, 25 catches for 308 yards and 2 scores. Then you have Andre McPherson. He's the speedster out this group. 23 grabs for 300 yards and 4 scores. And in the slot, you have Brock Johnson, 14 grabs for 267, 2 touchdowns. I like our secondary against this wide receiving core, but we'll have to dig deeper into their receiving core here in a little bit. On defense, senior left outside linebacker Charles Workman leads the team in tackles with 41, followed by his linebacker mate Brandon Clemens. He's got 33 tackles on the season. And left end Maurice Hayes has 32 tackles on the season. Workman also leads the team in sacks with 4.5, followed by right defensive end J.D. Williams. Then you have Maurice Hayes with 2.5. Ryan, the guy with 2 first names, he's got 2 sacks on the season. Robert Stewart has a 1.5 sacks. Then you have Edwin Hamilton, Adam McBride, and Mike Sparks, they each have a sack apiece. And in the secondary, Jason Dean leads the team with 3 interceptions, followed by Joe Miller, Edwin Hamilton, Julius Cox, and Charles Workman. They each have an interception apiece. Now it's time to dig deeper into the Stanford roster. So we've got 3 backs over 80 overall. That's not bad. So here's a look at their wide receivers. Andre McPherson's a 93 overall, 90 speed. Whitaker is an 84 overall, 83 speed. Brandon Malone, 80 overall, 88 speed. Brian Gordon, 80 overall, 90 speed. And then Brock Johnson, 80 overall, 90 speed. Yeah, I like our secondary way better than their wide receiver group. Offensive line. This is what I want to look at. Their left tackle is a 74 overall. Eesh. Left guard, an 87 overall. Their center is a stud, 92 overall. Right guard, Reggie Jenkins, 86 overall. And right tackle, Johnny Butler, is a 71 overall. So our defensive ends should have a field day against their offensive tackles. On defense, Maurice Hayes is an 83 overall. Then you have J.D. Williams, who is injured. He's an 86 overall. But Ray McGrew? Yeah, okay, he's an 81 overall. Up the middle, Robert Stewart is the star player, man. He's a 90 overall D tackle, followed by Adam McBride. He's an 81 overall. They have a solid linebacking group led by Lee Adams. He's an 83 overall. And then you have Charles Workman, who's an 83 overall. Ryan up the middle. He's an 89 overall. Brandon Clemens is an 86 overall with 92 speed. Wow. At right outside linebacker, Edwin Hamilton, he's injured. He's an 84 overall. And in the secondary, we should have a field day. Jason Dean leads the way. He's an 86 overall with 94 speed. But then they take a drop off. Cam McCoy is an 81 overall. Kyle Bird is an 80 overall. And Art Vincent is a 77 overall. They do have speed with their first 3 corners. But Vincent with 90 overall speed is not that great. And Gibson, their 5th corner, only has 88 speed. Julius Cox is a 92 overall. He's a great coverage free safety. And then you have Mike Sparks. He's an 87 overall with 94 speed. Their kicker, stud, 91 overall. Their punter, not so much, 68 overall. And it looks like Herbie is rolling with Grambling State to keep their streak alive. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're brand new, and don't forget to ring that bell. Join the Noti Squad. Hit those links down in my description. Follow your boy on Facebook, Twitter, and IG at Big C Got Game. And we'll talk from the hole. For homecoming, it's the blackout. Number 1 Grambling State versus number 14 Stanford. Have a great day, guys. 2 fingers in the air. Peace.